Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer and today is Thursday and Premier is bringing it hard with the Yow! They sent me yarn recently a lot and I'm here for it. I am here for it. Especially the yarns that they got coming out. I'm here for it. So this was this is an affiliate box. They send these out to a couple of the affiliates. So you probably will see other people unboxing these boxes. I'm so sorry. I don't think my tea has enough caffeine in it. So this is these boxes are a lot of fun to open and they are sent to only the best of the affiliates. No, I don't know who they sent them to, but they sent me one. Even though I've already showed you some of the yarn that's in here, which just fell onto my knee. Because I still have that bucket underneath my desk filled with yarn. So, hang on, let me see if I can grab it. Remember I showed... I just spilled tea all over myself. All over myself. We'll be fine. At least it's not hot. Juju, can you bring me a paper towel, please? I made a big mess. I spilled a lot of tea. This was the poppy yarn. This is a wool blend. I showed you guys this last week and I told you that it was released. And I actually showed you, I think on the day that it released, because this yarn is like lush. It's so gorgeous. And a lot of people are like, I can't use wool. And I understand that. I understand. I have sensitivity to some wools as well. This is mostly acrylic. But this is the poppy yarn. And on the same day that they released the poppy yarn, they released another bulky yarn that is just 100% acrylic. There's no paper towels?
I took them in my car this morning, used from the windshield.
You need to go to the Dollar Tree and get an eraser like that video you showed me.
I know.
Alright. I'm done with the towel. My leg's a little bit wet, but thank you. So anyway, the same day that they released this, they released another super bulky yarn. And I didn't know until that day that they actually can go together. Because I didn't ask. Like, I asked for the poppy yarn. I was like, hey, I would really like to use that poppy yarn because it's gorgeous. I would like to make a tutorial or something. Can you send me some? And they did. Because Premier Yarns loves me. And I knew that they were releasing the bulky yarn at the same time. I'm repeating myself. I didn't realize that they could go together because the poppy is 80% acrylic. It's only got like a smidge of wool in there. And you can't really feel, the wool. It's just, it's slightly, ever so slightly woolly. But aside from all these gorgeous colors, which I kind of showed you on my phone because I didn't have this at the time, they also released a Super Basix Super Bulky, and the colors can go together. And this goes back to that really cool function that Premier Yarns has on their website called the color, what is it, the color something, where you can drag the colors into the, what is it called? Where's my phone? You know, one day I'm going to be prepared and you guys are going to be like, oh my god, she's prepared. Compare colors. So when you open up Premier's website, oh look at it, it's poppy. You click the three lines right here. And then you go to compare colors, which is right here. Come on, I clicked it. It lets you compare colors side by side, which obviously I was trying to shop. I'll see which colors went the best with what colors, and you can drag and drop these next to each other. I have a whole video on how to do this, and I was trying to figure out which yarns I wanted for the project, whatever, right? So you can do that. So you can take some of the Super Basics, the Super Bulky Basics, okay? So you go to Yarn Weight Super Bulky. And it shows you the Parfait, the Basic Chenille, the Anti-Pilling Bulky, you know, all their whatevers. Where is the basics? Which, by the way, they also have a super bulky in the sweet roll, which I do have a ball of. I have one ball of it. Just right here. I never showed this on the channel either. I didn't show you this, but I had to have this. I absolutely had to have this. Confessions. I purchased this and didn't tell you. I did, because I had to. I had to, okay? So they got a lot of really thick yarns coming out right now. This is 109 yards. It is a 6 super bulky. It is a cake. It is so soft and squish. It's so soft and squish. So even if you can't use wool, this is 100% acrylic. And this is, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But now they also have this, which feels just like this. It feels the same. It feels the same. Let me see if it looks the same. Yeah. It looks really similar. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so I guess we're showing 3 yarns today that we're gonna link, okay? This is, let me rewind. This was released last month. This is the Sweet Roll Bold. I bought exactly 1 ball because I'm supposed to be on a yarn ban, and I totally bought this and I didn't tell you guys, and now I'm confessing my secrets, okay? I bought it because I just wanted to feel it and try it out and see if I like. It's soft. It's so soft and it's so pretty. But yeah, there's that. And then they have the solid colors, which is the basic super bulky 100% acrylic. This is, again, it's 98 yards. It's about 100 yards. There's not a price on any of these. So the cake is $8.99. The poppy is $7.99, but this has a wool in it, and the basics is $4.99. So I mean, yeah. And the basics comes in 20 colors, and the colors here match up with the colors here. Okay, so Premier Yarns, even though they already sent me some of this because I asked them to for a tutorial, they also sent me one of the other colorways that I really wanted, and this god-awful brown. I'm not a fan of brown. I would have loved if there was some blue in there, because, you know, that would have been my thing all day long. You guys already know. I was talking about it the other day, like blue would have been perfect, but the brown does go with that yarn. And then they sent me this cute a little card. They're so excited for our latest launches of Premier Poppy and Premier Basics Super Bulky. We think both of these yarns would be great for your collection or projects. To celebrate the double launch, you guys, they're giving me a code that I will put in the description box below for 10% off. Premier does not do this. I have asked Premier for discounts a lot, and I am always turned down because they usually put it on sale first. And like, I actually have a discount code. It is 10% CS for Cinnamon Stitches. I will put it in the description box below. I'll put the links to these yarns, and it's 10% off your order of either one of these yarns. The code will only work for the new yarns, so it's not going to work for this, but 10% off is 10%, right? Which it was, I was shocked. I opened it, I was like, they don't ever give me discounts. They don't ever give me a discount. They never. So I was really excited. So 10% CS, and you can get a discount from Cinnamon Stitches, baby. So now, like I showed you guys on my phone, see how there's all these bright colors? You guys remember I made that blanket for the Boggy Creek blanket out of the Serenity and the Serenity candy, which I can't reach, but it's over there. And you remember I did the solid with the candy and the solid with the candy, because the candy is really busy yarn. I have the hat still here. Okay, so this is the candy and this is the solid. So they're doing the same kind of idea with the poppy and the basics. So you can mix a busy yarn in a stripe of a project and then put like a solid. Now, if you can't particularly use, if you can't wear wool on your face, this is a brilliant idea, because I actually did this with another hat, which I don't remember what hat I did it with. I think it was that one, maybe? I don't remember what yarn that was. Anyway, what you can do if you have a hard time with wool around your face or your neck and you want to make a hat, make the brim out of just acrylic and the rest of the hat out of the wool blend. You can do that, but you can also, if you're making a blanket, you can do like we did with the Boggy Creek blanket. If you have like a really busy yarn, like the poppy, you can mix it with a color that goes with it. So it's not all busy all the time. It's like solid color busy, and it makes the project pop. You guys saw the Boggy Creek blanket. You saw how that worked. And while I am not a fan of the color brown at all, really not, this is not a terrible brown. This is not a terrible, it's a pretty brown. I don't like the like red, really red browns, or like the really yellow browns. And so this one's kind of like a chocolate brown, so it's not horrible, but like I personally would have preferred the blue. And I'm not trash talking Premier at all, because I'm so grateful they sent me this box. I did not know this was coming, and they did not have to do this at all. They never have to provide support for me, because I'm still here anyway. I love Premier Yarns. I'm gonna be real honest. But like, I'm really thinking like a dark blue, like this blue right here would be perfect. But, so anyway, they have the color of the poppy that they sent me is the Pop Art, which is one of the colors, because when I asked them for yarn, I was looking at the list that they sent me, and I was like, okay, which ones do I really like? And I'm looking over the list, and the ones that stood out to me was this one, which is Good Vibes. And then I really liked the Pop Art, which according to this little tiny picture doesn't look like there's brown in there at all, but there's brown in there. And then I liked Cosmos. This is the Cosmos, which I think is the one that I have. Yeah, so that's the one I just showed you that is now on the floor. So I like those. I also really like the parakeet. The parakeet's really pretty. And so those were the ones I was like really thinking about, like which one of these do I really want the most. They also have a Christmas colorway, Vino, which means wine, but it's greens and reds, which would go fantastic with this red they sent me, which is the color Cherry Red. Which, did you guys know that cameras have a hard time picking up the color red? They will usually, like red or really bright pinks, they will blow the color out and make it look crazy. My camera's actually doing a really good job picking up the actual color of that red. So they sent me red and brown. This is mahogany to go with the Pop Art. And if you look, there is actually brown in there. There's a lot more brown than I thought there was, but that blue like makes you forget that there's brown in there, unless you add brown to it, which is pretty together. But like brown is not my favorite. Like brown is, I hate the color brown. I really do, and I don't know why. I just don't like it. I don't like neutrals. I like color. So, like I was telling you, this stuff is really, really soft. I mean, it's super bulky. And I had a couple people say they've never worked with a super bulky, a 6 or a 7 yarn before. And these are all 6s. These are super bulky. They're right on the edge of being a rope. And the best thing to do with these yarns is to make something with a really big hook so that it has drape. Now, when I worked up struggling to do anything. When I worked this up, I don't remember what hook I used, but it's kind of a dense fabric. So this would make really good like a mat, or like, because it's so dense, this would make a good like heavy blanket or something like that. But if I were to make a wearable out of this, like and they have tutorials on their website. Not tutorials, they don't have tutorials. They have patterns on their website for the poppy especially. See how much more soft and supple that looks than like my swatch. And look at that. So you can absolutely make wearables if you live in a cold climate. And I love that they're using thick girls on here. I'm not going to call her fat because some girls hate being called fat. I own that word. But like my thick girls, I love that they're not just using tiny people in these pictures anymore. They are just wide more type of people they're using, not just your basic traditional model. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it because I pushed really hard. Not directly to them, but I have pushed really hard to get size inclusive patterns. Isn't that beautiful? Do you see how nice that looks worked up? And this is actually a crochet pattern. Wow. I really like that. So what I'm going to suggest is like use a bigger hook than what they suggest. They're saying 9 millimeters for this pattern. The label says 9 millimeter hook. I probably would use a 10 millimeter hook just to have more loose and drapey because I crochet really tight. Look at this behemoth. They should have put that on a bigger person because that looks silly on her. That is one heck of a scarf though. And again, it's crochet. A lot of their patterns tend to lean more knit. Like this one is knit, and I'm in love with this one. I just think that is so beautiful. And look at that model. She is gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? So, I'm going to tell you right now, if you knit with this yarn, it is going to be much more drapey loose because, especially like, oh, do this with garter stitch. No matter what you make, like if you're going to knit this, use garter stitch because it's going to be so squishy. I'm telling you right now, I know this. But if you're going to crochet, use a bigger hook than what they're saying so that you get drape. So it's not, because this is a little bit on the stiff side for like something you're going to wear against your body. Like I like the idea of soft and squish, but like, you know, loose stitches. So I'm going to tell you, if you're going to crochet, use a 10 millimeter or even like a 12 or a 15 millimeter hook. You will thank me. And if you can't use this because it's got wool in it, like I said, this is the same yarn except it's solids. It's not speckly colors. And it's really similar to the same yarn except it's self-striping. So yeah, really like that. I'm really now I'm torn because I want to make something. I want to make something with this yarn. I want to make something with you guys, and I'm torn. Do I want to do something with the pop art and the red, or do I want to do something with the poppy? What are your guys' opinions? Because I was totally thinking hat. And now I know that I have enough to make a scarf. So I'm debating, like, do we want to do a hat, a set of hats? Do we want to do a scarf? Do we want to do a cowl? Feedback, please. In the comments, give me some feedback. And if you cannot, that's a big old chunk of fuzz. If you can't use if you absolutely cannot use the wool, and you still want to make whatever we're going to make, you can buy how many ever colors you want of this and make your own colorway. So I really like the peacock and the yellow together. Isn't that pretty? I just think that would be so pretty together. And then not only do they have the cherry red, but they have sweet potato, which looks like a red orange. And then they have down here the raspberry, which is like a pinky color. And then up there is garnet. So they always go hard with the reds. And there's also eggplant that's kind of purpley red. They always go hard with the reds. I don't know why that is. Like every time they come out with a yarn, it's like red this, red that, red this. Which I'm fine with because red is little man's favorite color. But yeah, really, really digging the new yarns. And someone actually commented on a video last week. And they were like, you know, Premier Yarns was getting a little bit boring there for a little bit. And I totally agree. I was having a hard time coming up with content. And the same comment went on to say, but they are killing it with these new yards. And I agree. Because, and even if you haven't worked with super bulky yarns can be a lot of fun because they work up really fast. Like if you need to make a hat for somebody and you live in a climate that's cold enough that you can make something thick like this, you could probably make a hat in a half an hour. I'm going to be real honest. Like it works up really fast. You may need, because it's only 98 yards, you may need 2 balls if you're crocheting it, depending on the stitch, to make a full hat. But I really think you could probably make a whole hat out of 1. And with knitting, you could probably make 2 hats. I'm just gonna be honest. Headbands, 20 minutes. Big giant fluffy mittens, and that was another comment I got. It's like, can you make a hat with matching mittens with this yarn? And I was like, okay, but I am here for these as mittens, okay? I'm here for it. And mittens are really easy. Mittens are like making a hat, but for like, it's like, if you want to make mittens, I always start at the wrist, and I make like a brim, like you're starting with a hat, and you work up here, and then you open it up for the thumb hole. Like, mittens are pretty easy, and these would be so cute as mittens. So many ideas with this yarn. Big, fat, fluffy mittens, right? You guys can see what I'm saying. Even if you just went one color, like red mittens are the best in snow. When you got big red mittens and you're in the snow, it looks amazing. I'm saying that from the photographer's standpoint, because I used to be a photographer. I used to be a family photographer, and I actually took pictures of the girls. I found these mittens at the thrift store, and it was hand holding mittens, so it was 3 mittens. It was 2 regular mittens, and then there was a big giant mitten, so you can hold hands while wearing your mittens. And I made the girls take pictures in these big giant red mittens, and I made them hold hands, which they hated, because at the time they were like of that age where they did not want to touch each other or look at each other or be in the same room with each other. But like, red mittens in white snow is fantastic. Or okay, a hat with matching mittens with a big white puff paw. I got so many ideas right now. I need to get working. I need to get working on designing stuff for you guys, because I have so many ideas. I have so many ideas. And if you can't use that wool yarn, now they give you an option. They actually have 2 options for that fat chunky yarn. You can get any of these yarns, and we can make it with my coupon only works for the basics and the poppy right now. So, I mean, still 10% is 10%, right? All right, so with that, thank you to Premier Yarns for sending me this amazing box and just sending me more yarn so we can make more tutorials. And thank you for the coupon code, because I get asked a lot about coupons, and I'm constantly saying, like, they don't give me coupons. I've asked, and they haven't given me coupons before. This is the first time they've given me a coupon for you guys, and it's a really big deal. So use the heck out of the coupons so that they continue to give us coupons, because I think they're testing us out to see if the coupons are worth it. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.